What's up? Jordan here, episode 2, Jordan's Corner. Just got out of class, walking home on this beautiful Virginia day, checking out the river on the way home. Little river shot. See the way I walk to class almost every day. And anyway, so what I want to talk to you today about is programming, and specifically when programming goes wrong. And when I talk about programming, I'm talking about, what exercises you're going to use, how you're going to use them, how often or the frequency you're going to see them at, and then the intensity that you're going to have when you see them. So what percentage of your 1 rep max is it going to be, for how many reps and how many sets, or the volume. So there's a lot of these factors that go in, and I'm not going to address each one of them. Basically, I kind of got a pet peeve. People, if you're failing reps, or you're not getting stronger, you're not getting leaner, whatever, if something's going bad in your results, your outcomes, this is just like medicine. If you're having poor outcomes, you got to change what you're doing to get better results. That being said, I also see people that'll do a program for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and say, oh, I'm getting bad results, so I got to switch the program and switch it whole hog. Well, that's not true either. What you need to do, or what we should be doing, making small tweaks. You've got to have beliefs in this kind of fitness thing. There's got to be certain things that you believe in. They are truisms, and that's where you base kind of your programming on. So, for instance, I believe that heavy compound movements like the squat, deadlift, bench press, power clean, snatch, stuff like that, I believe that that's going to give me better results when it comes to strength and muscle hypertrophy, which is going to be dependent on the volume. Okay, I believe that in my core. That's why in my exercise, in my training programs, I'm not using a lot of machines and isolation work. That doesn't mean it doesn't have its place. It's just my core beliefs don't support the use of lots and lots of isolation exercises. So anyway, on this programming gig, I get, I think people need to start realizing when they need a change. And like I said, it's these very small tweaks. So I got an example. One of my friends on the internet friends, is failing on the bench press, certain rep schemes. And, one look at his program and you're going to say, well, it doesn't have enough dedicated work to bring it up the bench press, which is true. I think there's this general fear of overtraining in the training world, in the fitness world, and so people end up doing too less. They end up being undertrained. And you guys would be really surprised what the body can adapt to if you just give it a chance. There might be some weeks where you start feeling a little run down, but after you adapt and you kind of start going the other way, good things will happen. I mean, the training volume that most people have currently, in my opinion, is pretty low, especially for people wanting kind of like high-level performance and physique goals. So, if I could make almost one recommendation to most people out there training, it would be increase your volume, but do it in an intelligent way. In the same breath, I have to make a caveat. I'm not talking about the guys that are doing, hang on, little trash truck, sorry. I'm not talking about the guys that are doing, 21 variations of dumbbell curls and dumbbell flies, 4 or 5 days a week. I'm talking about the people that go into the gym, squat 5x5, and then leave. While that might work, sorry, this trash guy's really going crazy today. While just doing like a 5x5 might be worthwhile, when you're feeling those weeks that you're feeling sick or run down. I mean, that can't be just your program. You can't go in the gym, squat 5x5 and leave and expect to be, super strong, super lean, or super athletic. The people at the top of those kind of categories are doing way more than that. So anyway, basically the whole thing today is your programming needs to reflect what your goals are, and then if you're kind of stalling out or failing a little bit, you're going to have to adjust. So let's give an example for, the 3 main goals, strength, size, and leaning out, and I'll give you, my tweaks. So if you're trying to gain strength and you're failing on reps, this is going to sound really, really simple. instead of resetting, okay, so let's say you're trying to do sets of 5 and you're failing to get that 5th rep, what I want you to do instead is work up. The next time you do that lift should be a week later. You're going to work up to a heavy set of 3, a heavy triple, and then you're going to take off 10%, 5 to 10% off the bar, and you're going to do multiple sets of 5, like another 3 to 4 sets of 5 reps. So what you're doing is you're increasing volume, okay, but you're also increasing the intensity, okay? So you're increasing the intensity by doing a higher load for 3 reps, and then you're taking off a little bit of weight, and then you're getting the volume in by doing your back offsets. Now you should be able to increase that for another couple weeks, so you increase your strength and you're not just wasting time resetting. Because really, everything's arbitrary about rep ranges. The only way you can truly test if you get stronger is by entering a meet, doing a 1 rep max, something like that. A 5 rep max, while it tells you that you're probably getting a little bit stronger, there's too many variables in play. So honestly, 1 rep max at a meet is the only way to really tell if you're getting much, much stronger. 5 pounds on a 5 rep set from week to week, you might just be having a good day. On the other hand, you might just be having a bad day if you're missing that set of 5. So that's my tweak for strength, is just kind of alter the rep range, do some back offsets. The other thing would be like wherever you're weak in the movement, you would do specific work. We'll save that for another edition of Jordan's Corner. Let's say you're trying to get bigger and you're not getting the results you want. You're trying to gain some muscle. So what I would like to do is use some intensification techniques, like a pre-exhaust set or rest pause set. So basically, we'll use the first example. If you want your shoulders to grow and you're just kind of been stuck for a long time and you really like to press, you like to military press with dumbbells and barbells, and you're getting good at it, but your shoulders aren't growing. So what I'd have you do is, before you press, I would have you do a set of lateral raises to failure. You're doing lateral flies to failure, and then you're going to do your normal pressing routine after that. So basically, you're going to try to pre-exhaust your shoulders, and that way, when you go to press, your shoulders are going to be just smoked, and it's going to increase the growth of those muscles. So that'd be a good intensification technique to use for size. And now finally, let's say you want to get lean and things aren't going the way you want. You're kind of stalling out. What I want you to do, when we're assuming that your nutrition is on point, okay, which that's a big asterisk. Let's say it's all from your workout, though. You need to add in a little more conditioning. And since most people have this sort of, I don't have enough time to train, all this stuff, I would add in high intensity conditioning. That would start out at 2 to 3 times a week. Basically, you're going to do 20 to 30 seconds all out effort, and then you're going to rest between a minute to a minute 20. And you're going to do that 7 to 8 times total, okay? And you're going to add that in 2 to 3 times a week. Should really jumpstart your body fat loss. Anyway, all right, so that's it for today's Jordan's Corner. I know we're kind of all over the place. It's got me a lot of things to think about for the next couple of days. And we're home. In case you haven't seen the apartment, show you guys this real quick, get around the corner. Pretty right. All right, I will see you guys later. Check it out.